board. You guys did on Friday some release version questions, like 20 questions, right? You guys remember doing that? So for those of you sitting in here, I've printed it out for you. Those that come on B days, I'll have that for you. And then the rest of you, if you want me to, I can upload it for you, but you have the questions that you can just look through as you go. So what I want to do is, if you're sitting in here, I want you to go ahead and get your device out. And I want you to open Desmos. So at home, if you can, open desmos.com. There's a link to that on our, I'll share my screen and show you. So in our modules, there's calculators right here, Desmos. So I want you to go ahead and open that, and it should kind of look like this. Okay. So I'm going to switch back and forth between that and Desmos. So I think, can you guys see the release questions, remote only people? Can you see that if I switch back and forth, or no? Probably not. Thanks for talking.
We can see it.
But it says NC Math 1 released items.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I didn't know if it would do that or not. So you guys, this is the one that we're looking at for in here. It starts with question 1, looks like this. What is the value of X in the equation shown below? Now, the ones that we're going to start with are calculator active questions. So that's why I said if you pull up Desmos, that'd be great. So this equation, all you have to do is literally type it into Desmos. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to go back. In my little box here, I'm going to type in exactly what I see. 2 parentheses, x plus 8 minus 4x. And everybody at home and everybody here, I want you to type it in so that you're getting practice with typing it in. If you have something that you have a problem with typing in, let me know. Guys, this is the exact program that you're going to use on the final exam if it's calculator active. You don't even have to have the handheld calculator. It's on your screen. Okay? So it's the same one that you used with your benchmark and everything else. All right, so I don't have to do any work. A bunch of these calculator active, I don't have any work to do, and that's what I want you to understand. So if you guys will learn how to use Desmos, go back and look at this video. I don't care, but try to learn how to use Desmos. All I did was type it in, and you guys see it gives you this pretty blue line right here. Where is the blue line at? 1, 0. What's your X coordinate? So if you guys look here, let me get the right pencil that works. You get the coordinate 1, 0. Remember, this is an XY coordinate, right? It asks for what's the value of X. So what is X? 1. That's it. Did you do any work? No. And you don't have to do that on a bunch of them. So guys, if you'll use Desmos, it makes it so much easier than you having to do any kind of work. Okay? So try to remember how to do these. I'm going to switch to number 2. It wants to know if it has one solution, no solution, or infinitely many. So let me go over what that means. If it has one solution, then it's only going to cross once. So it's going to be like an X. If it has no solution, it's no cross. If you're at home, you may want to take notes on this, separate sheet of paper or whatever. And then infinitely many means it's the same line. So you're actually only going to see one line. And again, this is so easy using Desmos, okay? So again, one solution means it crosses. No solution means it doesn't cross. And infinitely many means it's just a line on top of each other. So they're laying on top of each other. All right, so I'm going to go back to my Desmos, and I'm going to X that out because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to type in the first 2 equations just like they are. I don't even have to do any work, y'all. I don't have to do any work. 2x plus 2y equals 16. I got to type it in, right? That's a big thing. And you see it made a green line for me. And then I'll go on down and I'll do the other one. 4x plus 3y equals 27. Do they cross, not cross, or do you only see one line? What do they do? They cross once. So when I go back here, this is one solution. So for this one on your final exam, it's drag and drop. Do you guys remember doing the box plot the other day when you had to drag it into the little box? That's why I made you do it. So you drag this up to that solution. That's it. All right, so then we go back and I can take those off and I'm gonna put the second set in. 2x plus 2y equals 8. And the second one is 4x plus 4y equals 16. Is everybody doing okay typing them in? No problems yet. You good? All right. What happened? What do you see? There's just one line. So that one, when I go back, I'm going to grab the same line and put it up here. So this is infinitely, and I'm not going to write it all the way out. Infinitely many solutions. So I would drag this one up to there. So then that means the last one must not cross. So I'm going to check it out just have some practice putting it in. 2x plus 3y, so you guys can see it, equals 12. And then 2x plus 3y equals 18. And you can see that they don't cross. They're like train tracks. So those are no solution. No cross, no solution. So this is what you should have. Okay, and again, you would just drag that and put it up there. Any questions on number 2? How much work have we done? None, right? We're just typing in. Y'all do that every day, texting, right? So it's really quick and easy. Same thing on the next one. Watch this one, it's really cool. Okay, so I'm really lazy, and it's okay if you're lazy too. We have Desmos, so we can be lazy. Here's what it says. It wants a line that is perpendicular. What does perpendicular mean? If parallel means they don't cross, what does perpendicular mean? They do cross, right? Well, they cross actually at 90-degree angles, but that's not super important on any of the questions. Just that they cross is important. Okay, so watch this. 4x, I'm gonna put that equation in, plus 3y equals 9. They give you a coordinate -2, 3. And they want to know which line, A, B, C, or D, is perpendicular and goes to that point. You guys see how it gives you a point up there? You guys see my little point? Right. I don't know if y'all can see my mouse on, sorry, I think you can. So right here, this point, we got to make sure that whatever equation we pick goes through that point. What's wrong? You okay? You sure? Everybody okay? Typed it in okay? Y'all stop me, especially if you're remote, stop me and let me know, okay? We're gonna type in the first one, 3x minus 4y equals -18. Does it cross and does it go through the point? Yes, so that's probably our answer, but I want you to see the other one so you can see what the answers do not look like. You know, the bad answers, see what they look like. All right, so I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna show you B, 3x plus 4y equals 18. Oh, sorry. That's what happens when you type it in bad. Let me add my point back in there. -2, 3. It doesn't matter what order they're in. It'll still be there. Does it cross the red point? So we know that's not our answer because it doesn't cross the point. So now I can take this equation out again. And I can try the next one. 3x minus 4y equals -6. That is answer C. It does cross the line, but what does it not do? It doesn't go through the point. So it's good, but it's not through the point. So we're not using that one. And then one more. 3x plus 4y equals positive 6. If you look at this, it crosses through the point, but is it 90 degrees? You guys see what I'm talking about? So this one's more of an x than it is we want a t. So on perpendicular, you want t's. Everybody good? All right, so your answer for number 3. Sorry, let me get back to where I'm supposed to be. Was A. We eliminated all of these other ones. All right. You will have questions like both. This is like last year's version. So this is these are actual test questions, okay? We're gonna flip it over, we're gonna look at this one. Again, you don't have to do any work on this, you just have to know what it's asking for. So it says a club began with 3 members. So this is our start. We started with 3. Each month, each member bought 1 new member. Okay, so if there's 3 to begin with, how many would there be the next time? If each one brought 1? 6. How many would there be the next time? If 6, each person brought 1, 12. If 12 people brought 1 person, how many would there be the next time? What's happening right here? It's doubling or multiplying by 2. That is perfect. If we're multiplying, that's exponential. Okay, so let's look at our equations. Remember, if it's linear, the back number is where you start. If it's exponential, the front number is where you start. So we started at 3. So we know it's not this one. And it's not this one. And then because it's times 2, it's exponential. So this is linear. And this one is exponential. So we'll go over those again, but your final answer should be D. Okay, so let's look at it this way. Linear, remember, is y equals mx plus b. This is just some notes for you. M is your slope. B is your y-intercept or your start. Exponential is b times a to the x. B is your start. And a is your multiplier. Linear is always adding each time, and exponential is always multiplying each time. All right, everybody got that? That'll come up again. You need to know the difference between linear and exponential. All right, linear is adding, exponential is multiplying. All right, look at number 5. Karen has 2 dogs. The larger dog weighs 1.4 pounds more than the smaller dog. The combined weight of the 2 dogs is 12.6. What is the weight in pounds of the smaller dog? You can use Desmos on this, but you have to set up your equations first. Okay, so that's the only difference between this and the other ones we've been doing. So how do I write this? The larger dog weighs 1.4 pounds more than the smaller. What do we do? Zoomers, you can answer too. How do I write large dog weighs 1.4 more than the small? Don't act like you don't know this. How do you write 1.4 more than the smaller? Yes, so you can say large equals small plus 1.4. Perfect. I knew you knew it. It says the combined weight. What does that mean you're doing? Adding them of the two dogs. So the large and the small equals 12.6. The only thing with Desmos is you can't use L and S, but you can use X and Y. So we would do Y equals X, sorry, not S. X plus 1.4 and Y plus X equals 12.6. So I'm going to rewrite those equations so you can see them nicely. So in Desmos, large equals small plus 1.4, large plus small equals 12.6. Okay. I'm going to switch back to Desmos in just a second. Okay. Is everybody good? I'm going to switch back to Desmos. Then I'm going to take all these off because I don't need them. And I'm going to put my first equation. Y equals X plus 1.4. And then I'm going to put my second one. Y plus X equals 12.6. You're literally finding where they cross. So I'm going to go over here, watch this. It pops it right up to me if y'all don't want to see it. Sorry. Put this down here. I'm going to write it on my paper, but then I'm going to go back. 5.6 and 7. Okay, so I wrote that down. I'm going to get this back over here out of my way. This is X and this is Y. It asks you what is the weight of the smaller dog. Well, which one's smaller, 5.6 or 7? That's the small dog. So that's a type in question, 5.6. Just make sure when you're typing it in, you take a minute to make sure that you typed it in correctly so you don't get it wrong just for a simple mistake. All right. Any questions? Really simple. You just had to write your equation. So that's as hard as they pretty much get. That's probably one of the hardest ones. All right. So linear. What did I tell you linear meant? You do what every time? Add. So we're increasing by the same amount each time. Add, 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 add. So it wants which one could be linear. Anytime you see percentages, they are not linear. So percents are not linear. They are exponential. Okay, percents are exponential. So if I look at this, how many percents do you see? We can mark them off. Those are exponential. So then we can look at B and C. The monthly cost to use a cell phone for minutes at a rate of 4 cents per minute. So 4 cents each minute. This one says the bounce reaches 2/3 of the previous height. Which one is linear? Which one's exponential? Which one consistently adds every time? This one would be 2/3 of the height. So it would go to 6 feet and then it would only be 2/3 of that. And then it would only be 2/3 of that and 2/3. So this is actually a rate of multiplication. Okay. So that's it. How much work have you really done? Not a lot. This exam is not that hard. You just got to know how to manipulate your calculator. Okay. We're saving the non-calculator till the very end. Got it? Saving the non-calculator till the very end. All right, check this one. This one's super easy too. It says Oscar planted a tomato seed in his garden. Each day he recorded the height of the tomato plant, and there's that chart. It said during which interval did the tomato plant grow the fastest? So we're looking for the rate, which is the same thing as the slope. Remember, to find the slope on the graph, we do rise over run, and we want the fastest or the biggest time, okay? So we're going to start day 4 to 6. day 4 to 6. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Watch your scales. Okay, watch your scales. They were dirty dogging you on this one because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But what do they have down here? What do they have? 2, 4, 6, 8. So it goes by twos. So we're looking from day 4 to day 6. I'm gonna change colors every time. Okay. I went up 1, but I went over 2. You guys see that? Make sure every over is going to be 2. So I did rise 1, run 2, which is 0.5. Again, we're looking for the fastest. Okay. Then we're going to do 6 to 8. 6 to 8. How much did I rise? 2. How much did I run? 6 to 8 was 2, right? So we did rise over run, which is 1. Then we did 8 to 10. So those dots together. How much did I rise? 3. And I ran 2. So rise 3, run 2 gives me 1.5. And then one more, days 10 to 12. I did rise 2, run 2, which gives me 1. Which one was the fastest? C. 1.5 is the biggest. Everybody good? Again, nothing hard. You just got to remember that slope is rise over run and do each one. All right, is everybody okay? Check out number 8. This one I would rather do on Desmos than any other way. It's just kind of different how you do it, okay? So that 3n minus 7, I'm going to put in Desmos, but I'm going to put it in as y equals 3x minus 7. Y equals 3x minus 7. It wants to know the sum of the first and 5th term. So what I'm going to do is look, pop this down out of the way, get this out of the way. I'm going to look at the first, and you guys can drag this around. You see how I'm like moving it around? You can do that. So the first would be at 1. Where does the line cross at 1? What number is that? 1 what? You guys can't see it very good. Can you see it on your computer? 1 what? Louder. Somebody said it. -4. Can you guys see? Click the line where it crosses 1, like this. Here, I'll make it even easier. X equals 1. This dot right here is 1 -4. And then we want the 5th term. So again, 1 -4 and 5, 8. I'm going to write those down. 1 -4 and 5, 8. So when I go back, move this out of the way. Stressing me out. All right. When I go back, it says, what's the sum of the first and 5th terms? So there's your first and 5th term, -4 and 8. We're going to do -4 plus 8. And what is -4 plus 8? And again, if you don't know that, you can do -4 plus 8 and it'll show you in there as well. So what is -4 plus 8? 4. You can use it just like a regular calculator, or you can use it for everything. I mean, just anything. Okay. We're only going to do a couple more, and then we'll be done. And then you guys can do a little bit of makeup work time, or if you are done with all your makeup work, which is like nobody, pretty much maybe 2 people in this whole class, you need to do all your makeup work. And then if you have, then do something for somebody else, or just do whatever you need to do. Okay. Number 9. Number 9. All right. It says the width of a rectangle. So anytime I see this, I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle. The width is 3/4 its length. Doesn't matter which side you use it. But the width is 3/4 of the length. This is the length. And this width is the same. Okay. Left and right are the same. Top and bottom are the same. It says the perimeter is 420. What does that mean, the perimeter? Yeah, we just add the outside up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add the outside. So 3/4 L plus L plus L plus 3/4 L equals 420. If I add these numbers together, I'm going to go ahead and show you. 3/4. Remember 1L plus 1 plus 1 plus 3/4. To get outside, guys, just to throw that back out there, when you type in your divide and you type in your 4, you have to push over to get out of that fraction. So just so you know, I have to move over before I do plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 divide 4. And your divide is right beside your shift key. Okay. And we get 3.5. So when I go back down here, 3.5 L equals 420. How do I solve that? How do I solve this equation? Do you guys remember? Divide by 3.5. Now, it will solve it on Desmos without you having to do that, but I'll show you what happens. Okay, so 420 divided by 3.5, not 4, 3.5 is 120. All right, so the answer to number 9 is 120 because you divided. Now, let me show you why I wouldn't do this one in Desmos. Sorry, I need to take a little math break. I apologize. I'll put it back on in just a minute. All right, here's why I wouldn't do it. 3/4. Then you got to type in your X plus X plus X plus 3/4 X equals 420. Do you see the answer anywhere? You guys see anything at all? Okay, the reason you don't see it is because 420 is a huge number. So you have to like zoom out a million times. It's right here. And then you can see it. It doesn't matter. You can do Desmos, but you're going to have to zoom out and zoom out and zoom out and zoom out. Got it? Now, how do you get it back to normal so that I'm not looking at big hundreds? I do the little home, and it takes me back to my normal. Okay? All right, one more problem, and then we'll stop. One more, and then we'll stop. Oh, this one's super easy as well. Okay? So let me put us back up to the side. And we're going to look at this. And it says the 2 functions are shown below. Select or click the points with at which the graphs of the 2 functions are intersecting. So there may be more than one answer. It's telling you to click all that apply. Okay. So when we go back to Desmos, we're going to type those 2 equations in. So we have y equals 3x. Now to get the square, you do shift 6 to get the square. Shift 6, and it'll pop it up there. But then just like the fraction, you have to move over to get out of it. So move over. And we get plus 14x minus 5. So you'll see that shape there. And then you're going to do y equals 11x. They give you an easy one to type in, plus 13. All right, I'm going to move us out of the way again. And we're going to look at this. We're looking for where they cross, so I can see the blue and the green. I mean, it crosses way down here, but I'm gonna go down there and see. What is that point? So you guys see that on your paper, there's a -3, -20. All right, so let me see that. It looks like there's another cross somewhere. But I gotta go really far away. I mean, I can zoom out if I wanted to. Sometimes it makes it too small for me to look at. When I get there, I can zoom back in if I want to. But essentially your point is right there. What is that coordinate? 235. Those are the only two. So when I go back, again, let me move this out of the way. When I go back, I got -3, -20, and 235. Guys, check this out. You can also put those numbers in. So -5, 0. And I'm gonna hit home so that we can see it. This is just me going over it one more time. You can see that that point is not where both of them cross. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so I can take that -5, 0 out. And I can put in -3, -20. And if I look at my graph, I'll see that I put that dot down there. So that is where they cross. If I do 679, I gotta find it on here. 6, there's 25, 50, 60. You can see it's only on the blue line and not the green line as well. Okay, it's gotta be on both. Does everybody understand? So you don't necessarily have to scroll through and look for it. You can type those in and see if it matches all of them. So there you go on that. Any questions on how to use Desmos? Like I said, we're only doing 1 through 10, and then you guys are gonna work. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing and stop recording.